All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Divij podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Before we get into it, make sure you guys subscribe, smash the like button, turn post notifications on, because if you don't, I'll be sad as fuck. So please do that. We got a very special guest today. Someone who I've met once, twice?
Yeah.
Twice.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. SHAWNA DELLA-RICCA. Yay. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
I have a lot of questions for you, SHAWNA.
Damn, okay.
I have a lot of questions. So, for those who don't know you, who is SHAWNA DELLA-RICCA, aka Bella? Is that right?
Yeah, aka Belle.
Belle, yeah.
Yeah, George calls me Belle. When we first met, he gave me the nickname Belle, and that just kind of stuck. So everybody who's in George's life, all of George's family, George's friends, people he introduced me to, they call me Belle.
Where did that come from?
When he first met me, he thought it's hard to explain myself because he feels like I'm giving myself a compliment. I'm not. When he first met me, he thought I looked like Bella Hadid, which I don't, but he thought I did. It was the way I was wearing my hair that day, or I don't know. And he was like, "Oh, you look like a little Bella." He's like, "I'm gonna call you little Bella." Yeah. And then it changed to Little Belle. And then it just, I don't know, it took.
Would you say George looks like Zayn? Or wait, no, Bella's dating Weekend.
Yeah, she was with the Weekend.
Gigi's with, okay,
Gigi.
Got it. You I can see it.
Yeah, make sure. I don't know.
See this out. Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Got it. Okay, so you're from France?
Yes, I'm originally from France. I grew up there. I lived there till I was 10. And then I left. I was in Ohio for 4 months. And then we moved to Canada for 6 years. And then in 2014, I moved to California.
Got it. And were you moving around because of family stuff, or what was the?
Yeah, pretty much. So my mom was actually Canadian. She was a professional figure skater back in the day. She did escapades, all that stuff. She was a Paris skater.
Really?
And so she was doing a show in France at the time, and she met my dad. And because my dad is fully French, could barely speak English.
French.
Yeah, hella French.
He's a baguette.
Yeah, literally. And my mom too, didn't even really know French. But they met, and I guess they hit it off, and then she got married to him. Wow. And then stayed in France, and she learned French as she was living in France. And then, some personal family things that happened. And it was just the best situation for us my parents were getting divorced. And so when my mom was actually, I think she was 45 at the time, she got back into shape to do a figure skating show.
Okay. Because
once she had kids, she was a stay-at-home mom with us. And so she hit up her old skating partner. And she got back into shape, all that stuff, trained, and they did a skating show in Ohio. Yeah. When we left France.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Is that because I've been seeing on your Instagram story you've been doing a lot of figure skating? Is that where you get it from?
Yeah.
That's
so
fire.
I grew up doing skating. I was a competitive figure skater until I was 14.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Was that the goal for you? Did you want to become a figure skater? Professionally?
Well, since the age of 5, I've always been very I love performing, and I love when I was little, anytime I walked into a room, I would always grab all the adults' attention and put on a show for them. Yeah. So I always wanted to do something in that sorts, and because my mom was a skater and then my sister was skating, I wanted to do it too. Okay. So I loved it because I loved performing, and competitions were my favorite because of that aspect. But then I kind of lost I just kind of lost love for the sport, and my mom was my coach.
Oh, she was?
Oh, yeah.
What is that like?
She was just
tough as fuck.
Yeah, we were with those people at the rink because we moved around a lot too when we lived in France. Yeah. And so my mom was the coach at the rink that was yelling at us on the rink. She's keep going! Because we're her kids and she's only coaching us. Right. So people was always oh, okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you're France, Canada, and then how did you end up in LA? What was the move here
My mom got remarried. And he lived in Huntington Beach. They used to be together, back in the 80s. Yeah. And then they, started talking again when we lived in Canada. And, so then they hit it back off. And then they ended up getting engaged and got married. So then I moved to Huntington Beach.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah. So you get to Huntington Beach. Did you know George at that time? Your boyfriend, no. George Janko? Didn't. Okay. No. So how did you go from Huntington Beach to LA? I'm trying to map it out.
Yeah, I know. My life story is so complicated. Well, so the thing I've been wanting to do acting since I was very, very young. Yeah. So I grew up doing when I lived in France, I grew up doing modeling, and my sister and I would do we did like the like high fashion designer brands for kids. So I would do like Dior and stuff like that for like kids. So I was like a 6-year-old doing like magazine stuff, whatever, all the time.
Yeah.
It was like the best thing ever. I loved it.
Yeah.
So I did commercials and stuff like that. And then when I was in Canada, I was able to do a lot of theater training. So I went to a theater school and did all of that. And then my goal was always to be an actor. So then as soon as I was in California, it was like the perfect place to be. Of course. Obviously. Yeah. So then when we were in Huntington Beach, my mom wanted me to really like finish high school first before I started putting all my eggs in like, you know, just auditioning. So once I was like 17, 18, then I found representation. Okay. And then started like auditioning more seriously for like TV and movies and all that stuff. So then I made my way to LA. So I was like driving back and forth from Huntington to LA like to do auditions. Day. Yeah.
Yeah. So funny story, I was an actor. I did some shit like Victorious, like extra work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like doing acting was like, you're trying to get representation, and auditioning was probably like the most stressful fucking process ever. Right? Because you're like driving, you go there, you do this like whole thing, and then you may or may not hear back. Yeah. So how did you like land? Because you landed representation pretty early. So how did you knock that out?
Yeah, it wasn't. I was doing an acting class, and the acting teacher, his name is Bo Jesse. He had a really good commercial agent, and so when I was in his class and he was training me. I'm so sorry. It's so annoying. He knew that I was looking for representation, and he was like, you know what, like I'll hook you up with my commercial agent. Yeah. So then I started working with his commercial agent, and then from there, he was able to connect me with meetings to like theatrical agents and managers. So I had quite a few like meetings with different theatrical agents, and a lot of them, you know, that were kind of like, well, what can you do for us? Yeah. Very like, you know, kind of like, well, we're this, and that. We're all great. And what are you type thing? Totally. And I go to these meetings with my mom, and my mom was like, bruh. No. Because also too, like, even though I was new to LA, I've been doing this since I was like 5. Yeah. Like, you know, doing commercials and modeling and acting, theater, like all that stuff, right? Just not like LA style. Right. So then I finally found my manager, Andrew Edwards. He's with Zero Gravity Management. Amazing. And I had a meeting with him, and he was very passionate, very serious, very passionate about me, which I think like is the most important thing. You want like a team that's like passionate about you and like 100% behind you. Yeah. So he was very like that, very like in it for the art, wanted me to be the best actress I could possibly be. You know, like you need to train with this person and do all that stuff. And I was like, I'm in. So yeah, go with him, and I've been with him ever since. And I've been with like 2 different theatrical agent teams since then. And
and you've landed some crazy shit. Like there's a couple. Dave, which is huge. You had, what were the other ones? Caps Crossing, Wrong Side of Dead. Never seen that one.
That was a scary movie.
Sunnyside, Days of Our Lives. Yeah. But let's talk about Dave, because Dave is like that. I feel like I'm a huge like I love his music, and that music video he did for the one where he like went to random people's houses. Do you remember that? There's forget the song.
A music video?
Yeah, he did a music video where he knocked on random people's doors and like asked them to film in his house. Anyways,
I don't know.
Amazing fucking song. How did you get Dave? Like, how does that happen? And what was your role in the show?
I auditioned for it. So like I like every week I have like quite a few auditions, you know, that my team sends me. Yeah. And this was just one of them. And I mean, and before like all auditions used to be in person. Yeah. Which I love. I love auditioning. I think it's really fun. And I like being in the room, and I like being there with like the casting directors and everything. But since COVID, everything is self-tapes. Right. So it's like, you know. And so this one, of course, was a self-tape. And yeah, just got the appointment and did my thing, sent it in.
What was your role on it?
Caroline. So I'm the girl that he brings home. Got it. And it's actually cool. I auditioned for like on a Wednesday, and then on like Thursday evening heard back. And they got me, and it was, I mean, I was so thrilled.
Yeah,
because
of course.
It's such a great show. And when I got on set, like the writers and like the producers and people that worked on the show, like they were just so kind, and they were so like complimentary. I can't talk. Complimentary towards me and like my audition, and they were talking about like my tape and like what they thought of it when they saw me and all that. And I was like, it was just. It was
crazy.
A wild experience. Like I had such an amazing time working on that show.
I bet. So are you done, or are you on multiple episodes?
No, I'm done. I was just a guest star.
Got it. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing. So how do you, because I feel like with George too, and if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, George Janko, amazing fucking human. I owe a lot to that guy. I love him to death, actually. Your boyfriend,
Yes.
obviously. How long have you guys been dating for?
2 years.
2 years. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Our anniversary is the 17th.
He better do something special.
He always does. Honestly,
He
like
does.
Georgie is like, bro, like he does so many
Yeah.
special things for me all the time. Like when
He
we
does.
first started dating, like he like truly swept me off my feet. Like he did all these like cute things, and like he's always like doing such like sweet,
Yeah.
meaningful things for me. Yeah.
I'll be honest. So I was in a 6-year relationship, which I've talked about on this podcast, and I was not good at like showing the girl off. And I feel like George is like, he's always posting you like all the time.
Yeah. I guess he is.
Does that mean a lot to a girl or a woman like in a relationship?
I don't know. I think like it depends how you post about them.
Sure.
Like yeah, Georgie definitely is more like he loves to do like little stories and like say all
Yeah.
these like really cute things.
She has coronavirus.
I'm like just very graceful right now. But yeah, I don't know. Like he does, and then also I feel like, but maybe it's just because it's me. I feel like some people do it where it's like too much, and you're like,
Right. You're like,
Alright,
chill out,
chill.
bro. Yeah.
yeah. But he does it like just enough. I think it's just nice to like feel like it's like validated, and like I think most girls see it as like, oh, you're like proud of me, you know? You
Yeah.
don't like show me off.
Yeah. And I feel like he does. Like he really does show you off, and it's really amazing. Like he honestly is a role model to me from like a romantic perspective, because I
Aw.
see it. I'm like, I gotta be like that, like more.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, no,
So-
he's super like, I think like the best thing about him and like our relationship is that he's so attentive.
Mm.
And I'm like, I love it when people notice things,
Yeah.
you know, and like notice like what, like whether it's something that you did and they noticed you did that, or notice something about you. And he's so attentive to detail, like everything. Like he knows
Really?
when like my eyelashes look different.
Whoa.
And I love that because he's attentive to like me as a person. And so he's attentive to like what I want, and then vice versa. So we're able to like, he's just able to communicate well and like grow
Because he
together.
cares.
Yeah.
He genuinely cares.
Yeah.
Like I remember in past relationships I've been with girls, and they're like, you didn't comment on my nails. And I'm like, why? Why would I comment on your nails? But now I get it, because it's like, because you want the other person to like pay attention to the small things. It makes sense.
Yeah, to like notice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
again,
got
like he doesn't always like. Sometimes I'm like, look at my nails. Like I make him look at my nails.
You're like
I'm
Edward
look at my nails. I
Scissorhands.
got them done. Do you like them?
it. I'm dead. I want to get into the George situation, and not situation, your boyfriend situation and all that. But I want to first kind of talk about some other things. So like, what is it like balancing? Because you're not only an actress, you're also like an internet influencer, right? So people watch your YouTube channels, the Instagram stories, yada, yada, yada. How do you balance influencing and acting? And do you feel like influencing has a negative or positive impact on your acting career?
That's actually something that I've had to like balance and work with for a while,
Mhm.
because when I first started auditioning in LA, social media, and it wasn't that long ago. It was I don't know, like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Social media, even then, wasn't where it's at right now. And when I got with my manager, because I was modeling like full time, and when I got with him, he was like, "Oh, like listen, I don't know, like I don't want casting directors to see you as a model. So just
Sure.
like let's be mindful of like what you post on Instagram, because like I don't want you to be like stereotyped."
Sure.
So that alone was like a thing for acting, because I wanted to be taken seriously.
Right.
So then to throw on like social media on top was a whole different thing, and that was like, you know what I mean? Like if you like, I feel like casting directors just looked at it so differently if you wanted to be like taken really seriously.
Totally.
But then that kind of like slowly changed, and I started like just like posting more and like using my Instagram and all that stuff, and it was fine. And then it became like, oh, it's actually helping actors, you know, to get roles, because if you're a newer actor but you have a following on Instagram, then maybe like if you do this movie, you'll be able to like push it for them a little bit too.
Right. You're
you
doing
know?
promo for their
So
network
it's
and stuff.
like, why wouldn't you want somebody that already has an audience a
True.
little bit, right? So I think like that, it's just like has slowly changed, obviously, because of what everybody's, all the social media stars that are, you know, they're like breaking that and changing that. And,
Yeah.
you
Like
know.
Fuzi was in a movie. George was in the horror movie.
Yeah.
You've been in Dave. Like,
Yeah. And Dave started from YouTube.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. He started doing like YouTube videos about his like
Oh.
rap songs. He would do like, think I saw one where he did like the Lion King and he did like a rap. I don't know. Don't
Really?
quote me. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I know that he started there, you know? So yeah, so it was definitely something I had to like, I struggled with even when I met George. He was like, you should do YouTube. And I was like, I don't want to do YouTube because I want people to see me as an actor and I want to be taken seriously. And I want casting directors to only see me as that. And he's like, why wouldn't you like use everything that you have? Like, you know?
All the resources. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now George, he goes ham because I feel like he posts every day. Like every time I go on my YouTube, he's the first fucking video that pops up. He's very diligent.
Good.
It's great. How was it vlog? Because you've been doing vlogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is it vlogging? Like, is it stressful? Because it's just you and a camera. Like,
yeah.
Isn't it weird, kind of?
Yeah. Well, at first I was like,
what the fuck is
I don't
this?
know what to do. I was like, what do you want me to vlog about? Like, not that interesting. And he's like, well, you know, like, you'll probably film like a whole vlog and edit it and then not even like use it the first time. And he was right. That's like what I did. I filmed an intro like 3 different times for my YouTube, didn't use them until I finally did one. And I was like, all right, I'm going to use this. I'm going to post this. Yeah. I posted it. And then it was, I mean, I'm just really lucky because I have George with me to like help me and be like, maybe don't do that, don't do this or whatever, right? So So I just kind of like learned from him, and then I feel like probably my earlier vlogs are probably really cringe. But
I didn't look. I saw some of I saw the thrift shopping one that you did, which is cool with Simi, who I've met. She's super funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I looked at it, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be like myself and just like have fun. And if people like respond to like me and my personality, then they will. And if you don't, then whatever.
Is it weird like holding up a camera in public, like people like watching you and shit?
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I do it too.
Hate being in public. Like pulling it out because it's just like that. Like everybody's like, oh, like, you know, they're filming.
Right.
Video.
You know, I was doing a video last week because I bought a new car, a little i8 thingy, and I had the doors up. Like, we were doing a video, and this guy pulls up in like a pickup truck next to us, and he stops. And we're doing a little brand deal or whatever. And he's like, there's kids, what do you say? There's kids who don't have food. And you're over here flexing your i8. Like, there's kids who don't have, I'm like,
oh.
What? Like, bro, I'm just making content. Like, it's
I'm
not
just making a video.
Yeah, like, bro. So it's just there's always that public opinion, right?
Yeah.
And you have to like.
That's the thing, though. It's like people can be so bitter because, I mean, for whatever reason, whatever's going on in their life, and so they choose to look at the negative side of things, and it's like, obviously, you're not doing this to flex on people who are less fortunate. You're doing it because you've worked hard and you've been able to get that for yourself, and you're like proud of it, and now you're making videos, and it's like it all makes sense.
Yeah.
But the people who pull up and like say that, it's like there's always gonna be something that you could say. There's always like, well, you're doing this, but what about this? About everything.
Yeah. How do you deal with that? Like, do you get people that are like watching your videos and just are being negative as fuck? Like, how do you?
Actually, no. I have like a really, really nice audience.
Because you're positive. Like, I was gonna say this was in my notes because I wanted to say it. You're actually one of the nicest. Like, I've met you twice. And you're like one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Oh, thank you.
I swear to God, it's crazy.
Appreciate
like,
that.
and I feel like influencers, because I deal with influencers all day, and a lot of them are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Frankly, fuck you, Mike Malak, you piece of shit. No, I love you. No, I love Mike. But no, like you are really like just a nice person. So how do you maintain how do you stay grounded? I guess is the question.
God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Do you go to church and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, well, I feel like churches were kind of closed this past, like, but, I mean, yeah, I think, like, you know, that's my relationship with God is really important. And I think with that, just, like, the values that I have and how I was brought up and, like, what I believe in, you know what I mean, it just has kept me grounded. And I always want to, like, stay grounded and stay humble. And I don't ever want to be, like, you know, be that person that, like, flipped and go the other way. But I feel like if you have like that strong relationship with God or, you know, whoever it is that maybe like you believe in or who you follow, then like you have something to like keep you grounded, something to follow, and you know. I
love it. I've been trying to get more into, you know, I go to like Hillsong and stuff for on Sundays and stuff, but
oh really?
Yeah, it's important. How do you what's like it's random, but what's your morning routine? Like, how do you wake up? Like, how do you stay positive during the day?
Routine.
It's important because the way you set your tone for the day is like huge, right?
Absolutely.
Because if you came in here like super negative, it would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't even.
Big coffee?
I have a terrible morning routine. Oh, really? Coffee. Yeah.
Coffee,
I go to bed thinking about coffee. Like I ask anybody who knows me. Like go to bed. I'm like, oh, okay, wait to wake up in the morning, have coffee.
Right.
So like I don't know, wake up. when I have to wake up, depending on what I have to do.
Yeah.
And do my skincare routine. Skincare is very important to me. I'm like obsessed with it. And then get my coffee and just get started. I have a terrible morning routine.
Oh, really?
I'm not a very
You're
good
working on it?
example. No.
Yeah, me too. Like today I popped up at 9. And I'm like, it's already noon in New York. Like I fucked up.
Oh, you think like that about
Yeah.
other places?
Yeah. I'll like cross-reference time zones. It's weird as fuck.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really bad, actually. But I'm trying to be like the 5 a.m. like riser.
Really?
But it's hard.
See, I know. It's just hard. Like 5 a.m. is so excessive. I feel like
It's-
7, if you want to
7?
be early.
7's a good time.
7's early.
7 is. But then I'll wake up, I'll listen to people like Gary Vee, and they're like, if you don't beat the sun, you're not being productive. I'm like, bro, the sun's been up for 2 hours. Like I'm fucking up.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a big part of your day. I do
It
love
is.
mornings. Like when I wake up early and I get a lot of stuff done in the morning, I'm like, damn, it feels so good. But then I
Yeah.
get so tired by 3 o'clock. I want to go to
Do you
bed.
want to nap? Do you nap? Are you like a napper?
No. I'll nap like very rarely, but I feel like I'm more tired after.
Yeah.
So I don't like
That's true. Everyone's different. So speaking of like George and influencers, like you're around a lot of pretty crazy human beings, right? Like in a great
Yeah.
way. Logan and Mike and everybody. Couple questions. How do you stay sane in that environment? And how do you how do you stay sane? Because you're just like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, like all these crazy human beings. Like how do you like cope?
I don't know. I think I genuinely like I love those people. They're like
Just good
they're
people.
wonderful, good
Yeah.
people. And I mean, you know, like Logan's George's best friend. I love Logan so much. We
Yeah.
all have the best time. Actually, this last week, we were at Logan's ranch and we had like the most insane, like we had just such a wonderful time. I felt like we were all like a group of kids just having fun. You know what I mean? And like riding around on the ranch. And so yeah, I don't know. Like I know Logan's like, I mean, right now too, after the fight's so insane.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
crushing. Crazy.
But to me, he's just like
Just
George's best
Logan.
friend, and he's just
Right.
like he's awesome.
Yeah.
Like a nice person. So there's nothing really for me like stay sane in that point of view. I see
Yeah.
Jake from time to time, but again, he's always sweet, always so nice
Always
and
good, yeah.
welcoming, and same thing with that. And I think like the only times would be like when, you know, we're out and about and we're at a big like influencer event or at
Right.
a party where there's like a ton of influencers and girls, you know, who like can get a little crazy or whatnot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but then again, I'm like, I know that's not like me. Like if
Yeah.
people around me are doing things that I don't really agree with, like I'll
You
be like,
won't.
whatever. Like that's their life. And,
Right.
you know, and then it's not my thing. So
Totally.
yeah.
But, you know, no, 100%. Like I was at Jake's party at Versace Mansion, and like his parents were there. Like his parents are everything, and they're
Yeah.
just good human beings. And
Yeah.
like I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about the influencer world in LA, but like they're really just good people.
Oh my
That's
God,
all it
yeah.
is.
Pam and Greg, man. They're the best. They're literally
They're
the
super
best
cool.
people. Yeah. I think it honestly, truly, like, I think it just depends who you circle yourself with.
Yeah.
Because there are so many, like, negative people in, like, the social media world that it can be so, like, harming. Absolutely.
It can
Some
be.
people are very, like, bad in that sense.
Yeah.
But it's just, you have to pick the people that you put around you. And I feel like we've been
100%.
able to circle ourselves with pretty good people.
I
You
agree.
know?
100%. How is it going with Bubba Town? You've been pushing Bubba Town pretty hard.
Good.
That's
I'm
good.
doing the merch designs for Bubba Town.
Oh, you are? You're
Mhm.
designing the hoodies and everything?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been doing that and I love it. I think it's I love
Because
it.
you're into fashion. Like you fuck with fashion pretty heavy.
Oh yeah, look at my purple sweater. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I just like ever since he started Bubba Town. We're back to the cough. I was helping George in the beginning, kind of like structureize, like, all right, where do you want to go with this, and you know, what do you want to do with the hoodies, all that stuff. So I was already helping him a lot, and then he was like, you know what, like, I want you to do it. So I was like,
Right.
all right.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, I've just been setting up like we want to do a drop per month, and coming up with ideas and concepts for each drop. You know, like what's the design we want to do,
Yeah.
the style, like all that stuff, and.
Where did the name Bubba Town come from? How did you guys pull up with that? Did you like call him Bubba?
Yeah,
or something?
George and I call each other
Oh, you
Bubba.
do?
When we first started dating, I started calling him Bubba. And I've never called
cute.
anybody else Bubba, but my step family actually, they all call each other Bubba. I
Really?
just think it's the cutest thing and it kind of stuck. So then when we started dating, I just organically started calling him that. And then we're two weirdos, so we started being like, I'm a Bubba, you're a Bubba, we're in a Bubba town, and you're the mayor of Bubba town, and we're people, you know.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I feel like with the cute names and stuff in relationships, like before you get into it, you're like, I would never call someone like Muffin or fucking Cupcake or Vitamin Water. Like, it's just like, you would never do that. And then once you get in it and you're like so in love with the person, you're like, Goose. Like cinnamon roll, like,
little ducky,
and it's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's fucking cute. And you
Yeah.
guys made a whole fucking business out of it, which is amazing.
Yeah, so it just kind of took off. And then George even realized, he's like, oh my gosh, I never even realized that my dad used to call me Bubba.
Oh,
like his dad
did?
used to call him Bubba too. He just never like
Wow.
realized it. So yes, then it just became this whole thing, and then we came up with the concept and bear and everything, and yeah.
It came full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I love it.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What super random. OnlyFans has been popping up, right? And people have been we had Lexi Pantera, we had Alexis Griswold on the podcast, and they were talking about OnlyFans and how much money they're making.
Yeah.
Would you ever use the platform to drop exclusive content, whether it's doesn't have to be like sexual shit, but like would you do it for like exclusive Bubba Town shit or like other stuff?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not. Just because I think like no hate to anybody who does
Of course.
OnlyFans. I think it's great. And if that's your lane and that's how you want to create content and you want to be on that platform, amazing. They
Yeah.
all are doing so great for themselves.
Crushing it.
Rushing. Like, honestly, I wish.
Me too.
You know, but I think just because of like the direction that I want to go with things, as much as I love social media and I love using it, I'm so thankful to be able to like do YouTube and have like people who are just the fact that people are watching me do YouTube and then are like invested, and then those
Yeah.
people come to my Instagram and they talk about the things I'm doing on YouTube, my Instagram. Like, it's literally the
It's
best
amazing.
thing ever. It's crazy.
Yes.
People are so nice. I love that. But as much as I love social media, I also, my biggest thing in like my heart, I really want to do acting so
That's
much.
like your goal. Yeah.
Yes, it's just acting. So I want to keep that image, you know what I mean, in that sense. And I
Totally.
feel like OnlyFans, unfortunately, has, because of like what's posted on OnlyFans, all the
Yeah.
like risky content, it just has that.
It has a bad rep. Yeah.
Yeah, it has that rep. So if I were to do like, you know, exclusive content, then I feel like, you know, making a club would be the best way to go.
You could do it in like a Bubba Town. Don't you guys have like a Bubba Town club?
Yeah,
or
Georgie
something?
he has a club, yeah.
Club. Yeah.
He has his
Okay.
club.
Got it.
Yeah, you can sign up today.
Sign up, baby.
BubbaTown.com.
I gotta sign up. So what are your? I think we got a few minutes. What? It sounds like acting is like really Shauna's like goal for life. What is like your dream? Well, a couple of things. What is like your dream? Who is your dream co-star? I guess. Is it like George Clooney? Is someone else? Is it George Janko? I don't know. Or like what genre of acting do you really want to like pursue?
My dream co-star. Honestly, okay, that's a hard question because I don't know who it would be, but probably right now, just because I've been like watching her interviews and stuff. Rachel McAdams.
Who is it?
Shut up.
I don't know.
What? Are you serious?
I have no
Rachel
clue.
McAdams? Divij. The Notebook?
Googling. Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry. I know now. She's from Canada.
Yeah.
Mean Girl. She was in
Yes.
Mean
Did you know that in the same year she did Mean Girls and The Notebook? In the
Shut
same
the
year.
fuck up.
Those two like iconic roles.
Oh, she is gorgeous.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Wedding Crashers.
Oh, she's been in a lot of. Oops, I should have known that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. That happens to me all the time. People say someone, I'm like, I have no idea.
No clue. Yeah.
It's only because I love her. But she's like, my God, she's so talented. She's so, like, if you watch her audition tapes.
Rachel. Shauna, meet each other. I'm sure she's watching this podcast. She has to be.
But yeah, no, I love her. She's oh God, she's so good. But and then my favorite genre would be I don't know, like right now, like I would love to do, like I love the OG 90s 2000s rom-coms. So like any project that's kind of trying to like emulate that. Any like, you know, 90s 2000s rom-com. But in the future, I think my ultimate goal would be to like any role that's like challenging and putting myself in somebody else's whole world, like something that's completely different from what I know or who I am. Because like I love acting for the reason that I think there's like a big psychology to it. And when you're
Totally.
playing somebody, you know, everything that's happened in their life from the moment that they were born, everything that they've gone through in their childhood, and that everything that they've done has made them the person that they are today.
Yeah.
And because of that, that dictates like why they do the things that they do, why they act the way that they act, and all that makes like the person. And so I think
Sure.
acting is learning that, creating that space, creating that world. And so I want to be able to do like as many different types of roles. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. And it must take a lot to like get into that headspace, because you have to separate from Shauna and you have to become this whole new like individual, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah. And then use like
Amazing.
your life, you know, experiences to
So-
match
Right.
that, to be able to like get there. And yeah, it can be
It's
emotionally
amazing.
draining, but it's
I'm
fun.
sure. I'm sure it can. I think we got to wrap actually, because we got to go. But last question for you, Shauna, is, and I would love to do a part 2 because I had 12 other questions that I want to ask you.
Yeah, I talked a lot. Sorry.
No, this is great. If you could go back to your like 14-year-old self,
Mhm.
what would you tell yourself? Like, what's the little piece of advice? Because you've come a long way. Like, you've done quite a bit of shit for your age too. Like,
Thanks.
it's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, what advice would you give?
My 14-year-old self. Probably to not stress the small stuff, because I'm a very anal person. And when I was younger, like my mom would get so frustrated with me because I'd be so stuck on detail. I'd have a really hard time just like
Perfectionist.
moving forward with things. So I was
Right.
so stuck on little details when it came to like myself and what was going on in my life. And I think I've done a good job at like, I've really worked on that, and I've learned to let go a lot in order to, I feel like, able to like deal with a lot of things that I've dealt with, like growing up, and just a lot of things I dealt with as a
Huge.
teenager and stuff like that. So yeah, just like, you know, don't stress so much. Like,
It's huge.
You'll
It's
be good.
important.
Yeah.
There's a quote that says like, if it's not going to matter in 5 years, don't spend more than like 5 seconds worrying about it. Like,
Exactly.
I think that's,
exactly.
it's huge.
Yeah.
Shauna, thank you. We got to go.
Thank
But
you.
Make sure you guys follow Shauna. If they don't know who you are, if they follow you, where can they follow you?
At SHAWNA DELLA-RICCA.
Yay. Make sure you guys
Instagram,
subscribe.
YouTube.
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Do you have TikTok?
I do, but like I don't really use it. But you can follow me on there. Maybe I'll post a TikTok.
Get on it. TikTok is huge.
I
You already
know.
know. But
I
you'll
know,
do it.
I do.
Thank you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, smash that like button, turn post notifications on. This podcast was sponsored by Mellow, the best melatonin on the planet, pesticide-free, drug-free. Oh, you do.
Yes.
You know Mellow.
Fire.
She knows Mellow. It matches your outfit too.
I know.
Cruelty-free, drug-free. It fucking puts you to sleep like a baby. So go check it out. Keepmellow.com down in the description. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.